But hey, I'm going to welcome Jeffrey now to take a look at some of the things you are saying on social media as we walk through the top trends this morning.
Of course, there's a lot of people are saying it's 24 hours, of course, on X as well as on other social media because the time zones they vary. And it appears some Nigerians literally, they stay there to make sure that they track happenings. And our responsibility is to bring it to the fore, which is what we're going to do today. And the first we're going to talk about is this IGP ban on use of POS.
Yeah.
POS machines in police station nationwide. And you've been talking. So let's hear what you're saying. This is from Rob. It says the ban on the use of POS machine in police station nationwide may be a response to concerns about potential misuse or abuse of electronic payment systems aiming to prevent financial irregularities and maintain transparency within law enforcement agencies.
You know, I'm glad this has come up because it's given Nigerians an avenue to vent. And this one is from Kennedy_MFM, given, well, an experience, you will say. It says, let him know, that's the IGP, that the police officers now walk around with POS machines, so you see. And he gives this father saying, a friend of mine got pulled over, and after exchanging words over a long period of time, an officer went to the van only to come back with a POS machine. Says things are not the same as before.
That sounds like a line from the song. Yeah. Things are not the same. Well, this is coming from Chukwuemeka 007. Officers of the Nigerian police are found, according to him, flouting orders of the IGP. So will this one be different? Personally, I don't think so.
That's his perspective. And that's a big one, because you hear roadblocks have been dismantled.
And then you see roadblocks.
Don't harass young Nigerians.
And then they harass them.
Should I stop now or
Keep going, let's keep going.
We get the point. So it's important to make a statement this time, so Nigerians see that it's not business as usual, if indeed that's the case. Well, the next one is from Supercar Av, or Ave as the case may be. It says that's a significant decision by the IGP to ban the use of POS machines in police stations nationwide. It's crucial to stay informed about charges or changes like this, says, especially when they impact law enforcement practices. Transparency and accountability in financial transactions are essential, so measures like this can help ensure fair practices.
You know, I'm just thinking, if you take out the POS, I'm sure it's trying to avoid abuse. What then are they going to use? Cash, which cannot be tracked?
So this is something we've also heard about. They usually are checkpoints close to POS points. So even if some of these officers don't have the POS from the reports we have gotten, there's a POS point just close by, which can be directed to just leave a bad taste in the mouth. So for those bad eggs, it's important to ensure that this holds true and we keep supporting the ones that are representing the Nigerian police force very, very well.
Bookie's agent says, not our bookie, by the way, to ban isn't the problem. Hope they will implement it. Okay,
straight and talk. I think the sentiment is really general about that. Frank Writer 1 says, a good one. They should also ban police from extorting money from drivers along the express road. Says it's becoming too much every day. It's become a culture, sadly, and that's what we talked about.
This is one of the major problems that affect food security in Nigeria. If you do, this one, area boys and policemen extorting money. We've seen it before, so this is not. You can go around and find out. I'm sure you have it in your area where some of these things happen. So if the IGP can stop the bad eggs from extorting money from transporters and people moving agricultural product, I'm sure it will reduce the price, because they factor in that cost. They say if I'm traveling from, say, Benin to Lagos, I will spend 10,000 naira on policemen and area boys.
Maybe that's being conservative.
I'm just being conservative. So naturally, you add that to your cost. Add inflation, add, the margins, and but when you add everything, so that's why the bad eggs in the police know that you're part of those responsible for food insecurity. That's just the analysis we're giving. So the IGP kudos, implementation is quite key on this one.
So pending kudos on implementation, right? Well, finally, on this one, we have Oladapo Mickey 1 saying they actually need to take this seriously, because I remember when they banned police from searching people's phones. To date, some are still searching our phones without a warrant and all of that, because it's your property, right? And that's something we talked about earlier. So, yet another thing to take.
I think beyond calling for ban and giving orders, the police force needs some reform and re-education. The entry threshold has to be changed for policemen, because sometimes you say these things. I've been in a vehicle before. A policeman said, "I will shoot and nothing will happen." And this is me looking at them. They're like, okay, really? Anyway, let's move on now. We celebrate the good ones, but the bad ones, we're going to call you out, okay? They take the next one.
Well, this is about Binance actually being set to exit Nigeria. You may have seen that on the top stories. And a lot of people have been talking, particularly people who trade, people who have their assets and the rest in this. So let's take this one from Kelly Dunn 7070. That's an X saying they can just regulate Binance. Like there should be an amount of deposits you can make a week or daily, same for withdrawal. I do not see any sense in Binance exiting Nigeria. But he ends by saying, well, there's still ways for guys to use anything online in Nigeria, surely.
Trust Nigeria, they'll find a way.
Kelly D1, I think that's the name. Kelly D1. Okay.
And this is from Joshua, hashtag MacNero1. The solution is to stop Nigeria to trade in dollars and encourage Nigerians to go to crypto trade heavily. That's the Nigerian naira. It is the crypto to dollar that is strengthening the dollar. The dollar is massively adopted in many industries and countries. Allowing Nigerian currency to crypto trade will encourage max and foreign adoption. This will strengthen it. Okay.
Azar the Great is next on this one. Obviously, this is a big one. Says that discontinuing services that are tied to a specific currency can lead to broader implications on financial inclusion and market stability. So it's crucial for platforms to consider the impact beyond just numbers and data.
All right, so I think the last one on this one, General Hybe says, this doesn't mean Binance is going with your money. Your account is safe and your funds are intact. You can't just trade anything Naira on the platform. The government accused them of being part of the reason for Naira fall in the black market. So, okay.
I think just to say that UAE had been trending, a lot of people had seen reports claiming that the UAE had lifted, visa ban and all of that. But just to tell you that that's not true. We had one of the presidential aides saying that, well, that's not true. So just in case you've been seeing that trending, it is not true. That's been, of course, disclaimed. On a final note, 16 kilometers was trending yesterday, Jeffrey. 16-kilometer rail for 16 years. We had the Labour Party governorship candidate, Gbadebo Rhodes-Vivar, on Channels Television saying that, well, it doesn't quite make sense. It's an absolute failure, and there's been a lot of talk around that one. Raz_Kwe says, and this is, there you go. But he's saying the truth. Because Nigeria is not used to development, many of us won't understand. But whoever builds any or renovates structure or infrastructure with government money will begin to worship them. But I think I get the point there.
All right, this is coming from Centigraph, Kenneth Obiago 3. Simply the damn truth. How can a government, I want to be sure, how can a government be on a project for good 16 years when in real sense the project only needs 3 years to come into existence? Jeremy is an architect and into construction engineering, and he knows what he's talking about. So those are your perspectives.
Well, a lot of hits on this one. For other people, they're like, better late than never.
Yeah,
at least
that's what they're saying.
They can jump on the train and get access. But obviously, visa issues need to be brought to the table so we can really analyze and assess how far we've come as a nation. So those are some of the things you're saying. Remember, you can send in your questions, comments, and the rest. Hashtag CTV Morning Brief. That's how to do that, and we'll be sure to give your opinion some air, or I say air time. You can also do it on WhatsApp. You see the WhatsApp numbers on your screen. We'll take a moment now, just a few seconds, and when we return, we have a full plate, literally. We're talking about food, agriculture. It is essential to our survival.
Absolutely.
And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are not having it easy right now. So are there ways for us out of this? Stay with us on the Morning Brief. We'll be right back.
not too sure if we have 5,000 tractors working, fully working in Nigeria. We need over 72,000 with what we have in terms of arable land space. We, at the level of the ministry, we have had a joint meeting between NASA, NatFund, and also Bank of Agriculture to see how we can help and incentivize our farmers by giving them access to low interest funds.